Seems like 100% if I don't film a fix that I'm working on, it turns out great, and then I wish I had filmed it, and this is no exception here. So this headlight used to wiggle, and I mean I can make it barely move now. But you see this one moves even more, and this one's never been damaged or anything. So I believe, based on everything I found on this car, that they probably hit right over here, and there's a crack there behind here. I'll show you anyway. And then I didn't have the little piece that holds this on here, which I need to snug it in now, but I did put it in. So let me pull all this off. As you know, this is easy. If you have the little clips that retain it, there's up to 3 that you might have, but that gives you access to everything behind here. And of course you can't really see what I did without me pulling this light out. So tab there, pull them up, lift them out, and then the light will come out. Sometimes you can get them with your fingers, and if not, try it with a screwdriver. I find it works well. And you can just slide the light housing out, and go ahead and remove the bulbs. Get this totally out of the way so you can see. This black kydex I added, this whole space here was basically gone. So like I said, I'm pretty sure they wrecked pretty hard in this corner, took this chunk out, and they just left it. So the headlight only had the retainers on the top. It didn't have this one at all, so it could really wobble in and out. And so when I first put just one piece of kydex here, you see I just heated it up, wrapped it around. It at least held it, but it still could move a little bit because there's just enough clearance to allow it to wobble. So yesterday I glued in a piece of kydex on the inside and tried to get it at the level here of where it would be if the fiberglass from the bumper was still there. And that way when you push the headlight through there, it has something real secure to bond onto. Focus. I don't know what we're focusing on, but now it's nice and secure. And that was just me cutting a piece of kydex, and then you see I just used some construction adhesive, squeezed it till it dried, and then drilled a hole. Got the drill bit same size as the other holes so that it would hopefully match. Now obviously it's not as perfect as totally buying a whole new nose piece, but last time I checked, these things were like a couple $100. They're probably even more expensive now, if you can even find them. There are 4 of these 11mm nuts running across the top inside. Just spin them off. 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. And then I find it's best to pull the bottom out first, and then the top will just kind of thread out. Like that. I had to fix this. This is why I was saying they hit this side for sure, because this piece was broken off when I got the car. Now the stud was still here, obviously. They just left it, but I tried reattaching it several times off of the vehicle and then put it back on, and what would happen is it would be off. So, you know, too far this way, too far that, whatever, it was not lined up correctly. So when I put it in, it would snap off again. It doesn't take a lot of force to break them off, unfortunately, once they're broken. So how I fixed it this time was I set it up with some epoxy on here. First I sanded it down so it would, I kept eyeballing it with this one to try to sand off a little material until I got it where I thought it was the right depth and everything. And I put some epoxy on it, and I put it in here, all the way, and then clamped this and left it overnight. So the next day it was attached, and I don't want to break it off, but basically you can see it's sturdy enough to hold on there. So that's how I fixed that one. The bottom, this part wasn't broken, but the inside is, now is again. You'll get to see. I literally just broke this off, pulling the grill off, but that's okay. I needed to do some work on it anyway. But what you can see, I took 2 pieces of kydex, cemented them together with construction adhesive, clamped them, left it overnight. Then I cut, I measured here, and then I cut it so that it would match these pieces, so that it would have the slot for the spring clamp. And then I just put bondo, mainly because I wanted it to attach quickly. A lot of the epoxies are overnight, and the bondo's typically 5, 10, 20 minutes, and it dries. And so that's what I wanted to use, so that it would be ready to go. Plus I wanted to build up behind here. I sanded it down, and I wanted to build up something for this to sit on, since this didn't come off of the car. I made this, so obviously it just has flat pieces, and it needed something to sit on. So now I can hopefully break this bondo off, and now I can epoxy it. Hopefully it will bond a lot better with epoxy. And then, once you get it sitting on there, it usually will stay, but you can painter's tape it down to hold it, or if you can get a clamp around it, which is going to be more difficult to clamp it straight down, because you need the pressure on it downward to hold it. So yeah, that's how I fixed this, and I'll go back and refix this now. So you can see kind of without the bondo on it what it looks like. But it'll just sit on there, and I can tighten up this space here, because I think that I had the gap a little bit too big to where the clamp could just slide in and out of there. Or when I pushed it in, it broke this off, and I just didn't realize it until just now. Alright, this is just the Gorilla epoxy that I used to reattach the rear view mirror the last time on the White Vic. So far so good. It has actually held, so I've been pretty happy with this product. Let's see how it does here. Found worked yesterday real well was just taping it. That way it has downward pressure, and it keeps it from wiggling. Sometimes these glues move things as they harden, I've noticed. So this should keep it all lined up. So once that cures tomorrow, I'll be able to put it back on. I can adjust the hole as needed to make sure that it's latching properly and not breaking off. I think I hopefully have it correct now, but you never know until you try to fit it, and obviously I can't fit it with that curing. So anyway, that's how I fixed it. Hopefully that helps somebody, because surely somebody out there has broken pieces on here that need to be fixed.